So, M.O.D.O.K Assassin has got to be one of the greatest comic books of all time, and I'd go as far as say it is the greatest and best and only story about M.O.D.O.K we'll ever actually see that is any good. And I really like how Christopher Yost took the character of M.O.D.O.K and really transformed him into something new with this story. Here's the basics of where this story takes place. Now, with Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, we basically saw the collapse of the multiverse, and when Dr. Doom took the power of the Beyonders, he basically took parts of the entire multiverse, took all that was left, and put it together on Battleworld. And now each realm on Battleworld, which is basically part of each multiverse, so you have like the Age of Apocalypse, which is its own realm. We have Old Man Logan, which is its own realm. Those are war zones, and basically within these war zones are their own characters. But in Battleworld, it is against the law for one character from one war zone to cross into another war zone. Now basically, M.O.D.O.K is in a place called Killville, and we basically open this up with a Killville's version of Dr. Octopus or Otto Octavius running from Bullseye. Now keep in mind, this is not the Otto Octavius from the main continuity. He never became Dr. Octopus. He's simply just a scientist. Now as Bullseye basically goes in to kill this guy, to kill Otto Octavius, M.O.D.O.K arrives on the scene. Now whereas Bullseye tries to hit M.O.D.O.K with a knife, what basically happens is M.O.D.O.K catches a knife, and as he begins to brag about how he caught this knife, Bullseye cuts him in the nose. And this is basically what the story is going to be. It's going to be relying on comedy, mostly. Now, what basically happens is, even though Bullseye does put up a fight, what he says is that the Assassin's Guild is going to kill M.O.D.O.K if he does in fact kill Bullseye. Now, this is going to be really important later on down the line for this story. So basically, where Bullseye does end up putting up a pretty good fight, M.O.D.O.K basically uses his highly advanced telepathic abilities and uses his powers on Bullseye, basically causing his brain to explode inside his own head. And where Otto Octavius begins to thank M.O.D.O.K for saving his life, M.O.D.O.K basically says he didn't try to save Otto Octavius' life. He was basically there for the technology that Otto Octavius stole, which was basically this microchip from Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM. And M.O.D.O.K is in fact the boss of Advanced Idea Mechanics. So basically, he kills Otto Octavius for taking his technology. Now we also find out that this is a Nimrod Sentinel microchip. Now Nimrod Sentinels are basically a very powerful, more advanced version of the Sentinel, and they're not really worth like a video. Maybe we could do like a video on Sentinels. But M.O.D.O.K is met by Baron Mordo, and now Baron Mordo is basically the Baron of this war zone. He's basically the one put in charge under Dr. Doom to rule over this war zone. And so what we really get here is that Baron Mordo does not approve of M.O.D.O.K, but you know, either he's afraid of M.O.D.O.K or he needs M.O.D.O.K, because it really seems as if he's just a very powerful being, and that M.O.D.O.K is maybe just as or even more powerful than Baron Mordo. And Baron Mordo will actually be very important later on in this story. Now, we then skip over to M.O.D.O.K basically explaining Killville's origin, why Killville is the way it is. And what we're basically given is, it's basically run by supervillains. There's bad guys, thieves, murderers everywhere, and there's no more heroes left to defend anyone in Killville because M.O.D.O.K killed them all. And this does raise some questions Now we do see that M.O.D.O.K was easily able to take out Bullseye once he basically used his mind-based powers. And while that will take out a good few, we're not really given answers as to how M.O.D.O.K took on like telepaths like Emma Frost, Jean Grey, wildly powerful telepaths in the Marvel Universe. So we basically see M.O.D.O.K arriving near the Sentinel territories, which is basically this other realm in Battle World where just Sentinels are all around the place. And it's really just its own kind of war zone with Sentinels. We're not really given that much of a backstory to it. But this is where we actually see Gambit arrive. And Gambit basically is a spy for the House of M, the monarchy of M, in the House of M war zone. Now, for those of you who have read the story House of M, the House of M Warzone, or the Secret Wars tie-in House of M, basically covers a universe in which the House of M never stopped happening, where that was the continuity forever. So anyways, whereas M.O.D.O.K basically takes on these Sentinels and actually defeats them pretty easily, when Gambit starts to thank him as well, he actually steps into Killville, and M.O.D.O.K simply kills Gambit as well. Now as M.O.D.O.K begins to leave, what basically happens is that a woman crashes into the ground right in front of him. And what we basically see is that Angela, the sister of Thor and Loki, has landed unconscious and crashed into the ground. But anyways guys, that is all for this. There's 4 more parts to M.O.D.O.K Assassin, and if you guys want to cover them, then just simply leave a comment down below and we will cover the rest of the story. It's a pretty fun story. M.O.D.O.K Assassin is definitely just freaking fun, honestly. So basically, yeah. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.